Small talk.
Sorry about that. We're a little bit late on that, but all that SDCC stuff, right, coming out. So can't wait to get started talking about that. And guys, I just came back from vacation
Nice.
uh, earlier this week, and I'm ready to go. We went to the Woodlands out in Houston, Texas. It's a little north of Houston, Texas. Really cool place. My wife and I spent a few days out there, and then went to Galveston Beach where we met my kids. My in-laws brought them down there to stay at a beach house, and my youngest son got his first experience at the beach, and they absolutely loved it. So nice and refreshed, ready to go, ready to talk about some San Diego Comic Con. But what about you guys?
Oh man, I got a lot going on here. I'm part of a convention that's happening on August 5th here, and it's pretty Star Wars themed, and we're organizing a lot of stuff for that. So that's been sucking up a lot of my spare time lately. But man, some wild announcements for SDCC. So I'm excited to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it.
What about you, Bedfish?
A little less of a busy week for me actually. Still a few things going on, but like in family with family stuff. Like we got our kid trying daycare, like doing trials and stuff. So that was this week, but no like big parties or anything to go to on the weekend, or at least I don't think so.
Adulting.
Yeah, no
You,
no major adulting this week.
you guys and your children.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Um, how to is it a boy or a girl? I don't know.
Boy, sorry.
Boy. How do you like it?
He's almost a year old too, so it's crazy. I mean, the fact a year has already passed is hard to believe, but it's awesome. It's fulfilling, but it's hard. But it's
When they go to
it's
daycare,
fun.
it's like another level, man. It feels so good.
Dude, I'm like looking forward to it in some ways, but at the same time, it's like I work from home, so and she's obviously home right now till the end of the month, pretty much, and man, just being able to go up and like hang out with them or whatever, it's so much fun. So I'm gonna miss being able to do that a lot. So
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything for the con, but just from what you guys seen, like what are some things that you're excited for or you're looking forward to maybe hearing, like any guesses or hot
Well, yeah.
takes or anything?
Absolutely. Like, as we
here we go.
stated on Small Talk like 2 months ago, the HasLab's going to be the ghost. It's not revealed yet as we speak, but it's absolutely the ghost. So it's
But
going to be fun to see.
they totally revealed the vintage collection HasLab, right?
Well, if you're talking about the Ewok Village, that is
Yeah.
Photoshop. That is fake news. You shouldn't believe any Ewok Village pictures you see out there.
What about you, Badfish? What are you looking forward to?
I think regards to the ghost as well, honestly, that's kind of the most hype thing. We were quickly chatting at it before the show. Just I was saying, is it supposed to be announced? So if that's all everyone's talking about. So and then beyond that, I'm just excited for what I'm not looking forward to, like what I'm not expecting. This
Yeah.
surprises, because there's always something. They're like, I didn't see that coming, so I'm looking forward to that.
Right when COVID started, Sideshow did their first, like, well, maybe not first, but their online con, right, at their location, and that got me into a lot of trouble, which got me into a lot of the stuff I have down here, like the Iron Patriot from Endgame and stuff like that, and I'm excited for some of those hot toys. I'm trying extremely hard to stay away from those hot toys, and I saw that Guardians of the Galaxy wave. I was like, damn it.
I'm literally watching the movie right before I'm like at the end scene right now. We're about like maybe 40 minutes left.
And then I saw the Iron Spider, the comic version. Is it a premium format? I don't remember, but I saw that, and then that Iron Studios Thanos. That's crazy. Did y'all see that?
I didn't see the Spider-Man, but is it like the red and gold?
The spider, yeah, it's the red and gold.
Okay, because I remember the Hasbro did that when I passed on it, or I couldn't find it, and I definitely wish I got that. You have that one, right?
The red and the new one that just came
original
out.
one? No, the original one they did like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and it's
actually
all shiny.
just sold it.
Oh,
I sold it. I had a bunch of stuff. I was like, do I really need him? I didn't have him on a shelf. He's just kind of laying on the floor. I guess I didn't need him.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it was that Iron Studios Thanos. I think they said there's 5. It's an ES of 5. And it's like $60,000. I don't know how true that is. I didn't look into it, but I was just like,
Oh,
damn, I really like that.
one of those. That's why I can't find any pictures of it, because it's not a realistic thing to purchase.
Yeah, exactly
Gotcha.
right. You know,
Okay.
I told y'all earlier that I was having car trouble, and I was talking to my uncle who I bought the car from, and he goes, I told him, I was like, last year, right, 2 years ago, they're like, oh, we'll give you 50,000 for your truck. He goes, yeah, they're not doing that anymore. So I'm like, buy a new truck or buy a statue, So
Yeah, almost buy a statue for that price. Yeah.
exactly. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me get this pulled up right here. So hey guys, episode 96. We are on our way to 100. We're getting real
Damn.
close. But before we start, let's make sure that you are entering into the Collecting Weekly 3,000 subscriber giveaway. We'll have a bonus code later tonight, and then remember, go to Collector Zone Cantina Facebook group and follow him. Subscribe to Collecting Weekly. Join Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. And then for a bonus point, you can subscribe to 16 Fix on YouTube and the Ben Thomas Show on YouTube to get your bonus points. And like I said, we'll have something a little bit later today. And just so everybody knows, day one SDCC, we will not have all the pictures. We will do our best to kind of spam Patreon and Facebook as best we can to post some new 112 stuff that we see coming out over the next several days. So be looking into that. And for the things I got new, I got this dinosaur from the Hammond collection. I found this in the Woodlands, and they had it on sale for like $10. And I've been seeing it for about 15. I was like, I don't want to spend $15 on this guy. And then I saw it for 10. I was like, okay, I might pay 10 for it. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I added them to my little dinosaur collection. So now I got four dinosaurs running in one of these little cubes over here. And then I got some Amazon Prime stuff. We also did that during our trip to the Woodlands. So I got a couple more Tango Warriors. I only had one, and I wanted at least 2 more, so I got what I wanted. And then they had the Black Space Ranger for about $10 also. I've been wanting him, so almost have the Space Rangers complete. I think I only need the yellow and red, I think, now. And then the last thing I got in was the Amazon exclusive Alien Rangers from the Lightning Collection. Super excited to have these guys. Been wanting them for a long time. These were supposed to be released a few months ago. And what happened here was we're getting all of our packages in and not thinking much of it, right? So we get home, I put them all on the table, and I see this sitting there. And I was like, crap. And I was like, this thing wasn't supposed to be out until August. It got pushed back to August. So I was like, okay, I got some time, whatever. Well, it showed up while we were on vacation, and I had to tell my wife, I was like, just let you know there's $100 figure set sitting here. But
Normal stuff.
Yeah, normal stuff. Good thing we went on vacation. It all ended up working out. And I didn't put it on here, but the last thing that I actually got new is while we were on vacation, WWE is coming to San Antonio, and the pre-release happened while we were on vacation, and we got 3 tickets. They're floor seats, 5th row. So really excited about that. And it's only like a week after my birthday. So
which event, sorry?
It's SmackDown.
SmackDown, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that Alien Ranger box is so cool. I don't know if you can tell, but I tried to copy it a little bit. That's how I tell if I really like it. Like, can it do what's on the box? You know, if you're showing me something on the box that it can't do, then I already get a little suspicious of it. But
I like the art. Yeah, that's cool.
all right, Chris, what'd you get?
Yeah, man. Well, it's not a new figure, but I got a second Cal Kestis to open up here, and I took a fun little shot with him blasting this Clatoonian Marauder that came with the Pirate ATST there. And I mean, I just finished up this game myself, and like, I don't know if either of you guys messed with that, but man, is it wild to like play a Star Wars game that's actually good in the current year. It's so strange. It's like this used to be something we took for granted and had all the time. But yeah, the story of this game is wild, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And has happy to pop open one of these guys and do a little shot with them there.
It's a great picture.
Yeah, man. And so this is something I saw this in GameStop, and I posted it in our like small talk chat, because like I'm speaking of when Star Wars games were actually good. Knights of the Old Republic is hitting its 20th anniversary this month, which is like, it's probably the first time in my life it's like I remember playing a video game that's 20 years old and like thoroughly enjoying it, and like I remember the story. And it's crazy that this game is that old, but not a lot of Hasbro's not doing anything to celebrate it. So it's cool to see that that this is Diamond Select and Gentle Giant, and I thought this piece was really cool. And the strangest thing about it, it's about 1/10 scale, I think, but I was like, I saw this and I was like, yeah, I'm probably leaving the store with that. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that the price was like $80 Canadian. And I'm like, it seems too cool for $80 Canadian. That's like, you can't, that's basically 2 Black Series figures in Canada. And, this has a lot going on. I really like the design. Dean says that she's not cool enough and she doesn't look feminine enough. And I'm like, I don't know if you roll back a couple of pictures for me, Sean, to the close up. She's got like 2003 levels of eye makeup on. You know what I mean? Like, they don't let them do that anymore in Star Wars characters. So like, it's pretty good. I like it. And we were trying to get Dean to come on here and say how crappy it was, but my main case for this is like, Knights of the Old Republic is the best Star Wars game ever. No one else is celebrating the 20th anniversary. And there's, even on the high end market for statues, there's not a good Bastila statue out there. There's like one Revan and one Malik, and that's, those are like 1/3 or something. So this was cool. I recommend it because it looks awesome for the price.
Yeah, definitely. Price is great. And I don't normally like Gentle Giant, but that's cool.
What'd you get in, Seamus?
Just something simple again, like last time I got the Batmobile, but this time I've been on a Jurassic Park kick, and
Nice.
That's not the only reason I got it. It just happened to be there. I just once in a while will check the Walmart aisle, and yeah, it's cool. I haven't taken it out yet, obviously, but this is so cool. Yeah.
You're gonna put it right next to your gates that never got.
It's the wrong scale.
Yeah, wrong scale that. Yeah, but and honestly, I technically have some from when I was a kid still, if I really, really wanted them. Those ones were cool and all, but the price they were asking was nuts. And I think that's why it is failing. But
It's a gate. The problem with them is they already made all the best dinosaurs. So like, what do they do for a crowdfund? You already have like Dreadnoughticus or whatever it was, like that. It's hard to go farther than that. Yeah.
The Brachiosaurus one.
Yeah, just like the biggest dinosaur ever discovered. Yeah, that's the toy they made.
Oh, I thought it was Brachiosaurus. But yeah, either way, like I know the one you're talking about. But it is also a lot of the actual good stuff was locked behind the tiers. Like they should have included more with the base tier. It was just the gate, and I think some fences, not even all the fences. I don't remember now.
Yeah, it was the gate and a car that already came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
That's
the
a big
car
space
was even
space
unlocked.
taker too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine if that whole thing came out Was the kid part of the was that one of the tiers? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Like,
even if-
shocked, right?
Yeah, but it was kind of like it was a couple new parts on a figure they already put out that wasn't really Hammond collection level articulation. So, it was just a misfire on all kinds of levels. But they could have done something interesting. Like maybe imagine if they did the lobby of the visitor center, like where the T-Rex like smashes it
That
up at
would
the
be
end.
cool.
Just like, just a half circle lobby or something. I bet that would have sold better, but you can't. It's easy to armchair quarterback, but
True. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, let's check in with check in with the chat really quick. We got Toy Mafia, Punisher, Vintage Rebellion. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Badfish, you too. Let's see, Toy Mafia again, Equan, and that seems to be it for it now, guys. Oh, Equan, you know something I don't know about the Lightning Collection?
Hit that
let
like
me know.
button, everyone.
I know, yeah, hit that like button. If you haven't already done it, go ahead and subscribe too. All right.
well, everyone knew Indiana Jones was done after the film
yeah.
cycle. That's like Ghostbusters. It's just they don't believe in it enough to keep it going, and it's a lot of generic dudes in street clothes. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's only so many characters people want, like you said last time, especially with Indy and Ghostbusters. Like,
All right, so we're gonna go straight into Mezco. So all we really have are some pictures from SDCC. This is the animated Batman 5 points line. So they only have 5 points of articulation. If you don't already know that, but it looks cool. I think how many times are you gonna do it?
I would say just go ahead and buy yourself some vintage carded ones because that's cooler than this. But nice, cool that they're supporting animated series designs. But it's cool to collect vintage stuff. Just saying.
Equan said Lightning Collection and Indie lines are putting an indefinite hold according to Hasbro. You know what? That makes me feel a lot better though. Like I hate to see it, but it makes me feel better because I can actually catch up on the ones I actually want. And but it'll probably just drive up the price on some of these other guys that are already out that people are trying to find too. So, but and then the indie line. I'm sorry, but I could really care less about that.
Yeah, I only bought Indy, and I'm mad that how much better the Mezco looks anyway. So it's all good.
And then they got the Green Ranger, which was a exclusive to the con. I think this looks great. I missed it, and I decided I was going to back it, or not back it, but just go ahead and pick it up. But I don't feel like joining the wait list on it. So, but it looks like a cool figure. I think this is the first time we're seeing an actual Ranger that's not just a render. So, I mean, looking at the legs, the suit looks cool, but it also looks a little like it's going to stretch a lot. I don't know too much about Mezco with this kind of costume, but I think regardless, it's going to look really great. So if you're picking this up, good for you, and it'd be a good addition to the rest of the team when it comes out. And then this is from their Rumble Society. It's a cool little display that they got going. There's that Wolverine we talked about last week. I actually like this a lot better than that first one that they put out. The Green Goblin on his glider. So we've talked about that. And then there's Spider-Man with his webbed backpack.
I've always wanted to get a Mezco Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. See how it compares to just like an SH Figuarts and stuff.
Steampunk Batman.
Yeah, Batman by Gaslight. The Joker's been out for a while, I believe. And then the Robin. And what's his face from Indiana Jones? Yep.
So is this the second Indy figure is it just Indy and him that they've shown?
Yeah, I believe
think
so.
Yeah. I mean, the clothes look good, but like even this guy, he's not really even the main villain of the first movie. He's like a generic Nazi henchman, basically. Like, I don't know. He's not cool.
He's memorable to the movie, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
He's not like, necessarily cool.
I don't know if I need $100 figure of this guy.
Yeah. Like he just...
The Indy looks so good that I think that's all I would need.
Like his defining moment in the film is when he accidentally burns himself on the hand horribly, as you can see there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we got for Mezco for the con, at least right now. And again, we will update pictures and things like that for the next show as well. McFarlane, of course, has a ton, starting with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Green Lantern John Stewart Glow in the Dark Edition. It's a 7-inch figure. It's their gold label, and it's an Amazon exclusive for $29.99, due out August 15th. I don't know what that big hole in his back is for, but I don't really like this. I think the glow in the dark feature looks really cool, but other than that, I'm just not a
You know what?
Green Lantern
If that
fan.
Yeah, if that hole is from a previous figure that needed it that they reused the body from, that's really funny. But
Yeah.
that's all I got.
It looks funny, not lit up. Like the green on his boots just look weird.
It just looks underpainted, you know? Like it's just like because
Yeah.
it's supposed to glow, it looks the real rudimentary paint job, but
Yeah, it reminds me of like really like a McDonald's toy.
Well,
kind
and
of
then
like
even just look at the neck.
paint.
You know, there's no articulation there. Like you just got the head tilt. That
Thick. You're not wrong.
And then of course it comes with the card, and I really like this idea with the stand that they've been doing lately for the card. It's nice to have something you can display that with, because any other company that's put out cards in the past, that's all you get, you know, and it ends up just taking up space or sitting on a desk. So this would be really cool to put next to your figure. So I think that's kind of a cool thing, especially if you're starting to collect the line and they're going to start putting this out more.
I'm still blown away these are numbered. Like that they actually are
They have
one of
COAs.
it, like, or you could get 50 of a like you could actually get a numbered piece. It just blows me away.
One of 4,900.
Yeah.
And
Don't
then
see it a lot at this scale.
this one I think is really cool. It is the DC Multiverse Swamp Thing Glow in the Dark Edition gold label, also an Amazon exclusive. Pre-orders are sold out on this one. It's $50 and it's due out in August.
why does that have an awesome paint job and it's glow in the dark? Like
Right.
what's going on? That looks great.
I
And
didn't
it's
see
got
the
a couple
picture
head
for
sculpts too.
Green Lantern. Maybe it's true to the comic, sort of. But yeah, this thing's awesome.
This is legit.
Yeah,
I really like this.
$50 too.
Yeah. Hopefully
Pretty good
it's
price.
one of their what is it called? Their big ones. Lost it. But he's gonna come with an extra swap out piece for his hand and an extra head piece with antlers, and then the base for the card and the Swamp Thing stand that all of the McFarlane stuff comes with. And then there it is in the box. Looks really good. I like when I don't have to like push out a clamshell. You know, this looks like you just cut that wire and it's good to go. And that art's really
Which
cool
one?
too.
If you did get it, which one would you do? The big horns?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Gotta go.
I think that's the better one.
It's cool they painted the stand thing too.
Yeah. And then the next thing we got is the Superman in the 80th anniversary color deco exclusive. This is for SDCC. And they said if you want it, you got to go to their booth. It's a booth number 4654.
As God intended, Hasbro doesn't do that anymore. You get like a little paper with a QR code on it. It's really like quite obscene. I don't know. I remember like when I don't know if you guys remember that there was like a Grand Admiral Thrawn like Hasbro box set that had like it opened up like a big book, and like it had all his like trophies. It had the Cup of Christ from Indiana Jones for some reason.
I have that.
Yeah.
That thing's awesome.
Man, going up to the Hasbro booth and picking that up in hand, especially when at Fan Expo Toronto at the end of the day, they're like, can you guys just take all these for $30 each? And I bought like 4 because they were just clearancing them.
Well, goddamn, I would have waited. One of my biggest regrets, I was at Fan Expo and they had the Stormtrooper, like the base Stormtrooper helmet for like 130 Canadian. And
Yeah.
it was that was under the retail for some reason. It was on sale there. I was like, I'm carrying a lot of stuff. Do I really want to bring
I'm staring at it now.
helmet? And and then I missed it, and now it's like $300-$400 if you. And I'm sure they'll eventually redo it, but
yeah, because they've been putting out those color variant ones, and nobody wants that.
I grabbed one of them, but not
consolation
not
prize.
Too many. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. But yeah, the fist on this guy, he could knock you into next week. Did you see that thing? If you go back to the first picture, look at that thing.
Wow.
Boom. But I like the stand and stuff it comes with.
Yeah, I like the idea that they're starting to do these kind of stands for figures that actually fly. You know,
This kind of Yeah, this looks cool for a repaint. Like I usually don't go. I don't know. This stuff usually doesn't excite me, but something about the color combo and the way they sort of like faded it, like as almost if it's like two different color spotlights hitting him or something. That looks pretty cool.
The dark blue, and this I think the DC little thing pins into the Superman, so you could get a little stand with the 85 card that slots into the back there, like that bottom left Superman thing.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stand,
Those
that
top
big stand
right
is really cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's really neat.
And the box is really cool too. You know, they're doing these really cool. Well, you know, it's like they're anniversary pieces, and you're actually getting like decent anniversary stuff instead of like, you know, Marvel's 80th year. Get our cardboard box and call it
But do you
There seems to be a bit more love put into this.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you recognize the figure though? Like, what was it already out? Like the mold?
Hush one, right? I think.
Okay.
The one we saw last week.
One?
I think. I want to say it's the one we saw last week that we were saying or the week before that didn't have the S on the back. It's a very chunky body. I could be wrong though.
So the next several of these, at the time we did not have prices, and I was not able to look up if they updated that. But these are all going to be con exclusives until I let you know it's not. So the next one is the Mr. Freeze with Batman Fight the Frozen comic gold label line art. It's also an STC exclusive. This guy looks really cool. I really like this, actually. You know, I'm trying really hard to not get some of these McFarlane figures because I don't think they're really good, but I think this is one that actually looks really good. I really like the contrast of the black and the white and like where it's placed on his suit and stuff. So I really think this is a pretty cool figure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you know, I don't like. I'm not familiar with that incarnation of the design, but you know, I like he looks a bit like Kenny, so I'm in favor of it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm not familiar with it either, but it reminds me of BioShock.
Yeah,
the Big Daddies.
Yeah.
And maybe a good example for Hasbro to take with the plastic. The plastic box, still
it
recyclable.
Is weird. This is in a plastic box when all their other stuff is in it. Normally in a cardboard and then the clamshell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's the page punchers, and you know what? They were still in boxes.
That's why.
I think some of them were in boxes. The 3 3/4 ones. I thought they put them in something like this. So hopefully Hey, Ben Thomas, go subscribe to his channel. Get that bonus point.
This reminds me of the Diamond Select packaging.
Yeah. The next one is the Dread Lantern from Dark Knight's Metal. This is gold label, also STC exclusive. Go check out their booth if you're there. I said last time that I really didn't like the way this figure looked, but just looking at it a little bit closer, I think it's pretty cool. I didn't really notice the sword at first, but my question would be is if those fire laser eyes things are removable. You know?
Well, it might look really weird if they are. There'd have to be a peg of some kind, unless they give you something to like slot in there. But you know what? I think when we first saw this, Dean was on, and like he was saying like, why isn't the fire more clear and stuff? But you know, I kind of like the sort of thicker, like sort of opaque look to that, because you get a nice brighter flame effect out of it. I don't mind it. I just think that this shot, for example, if as a promo shot, this is the wrong way to look at this figure with solid white in the background. It just kills the flame effect, like you got, McFarlane media team, talk to me, call me. We can make some improvements, It's all good.
And once you do, make sure we get all the news first.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how Hasbro does the black and the white usually backgrounds of figures. They'll do usually both.
Yeah. It's just fire's never going to look bright on a white background. It's.
It's a good point, yeah.
The next thing we got is the Joker Sonar version gold label STC exclusive. I think this looks really cool, but it's an easy pass for me.
I was going to say, I didn't know he went Force Ghost, but...
I know, right?
Oh man, those Black Series Force Ghosts look so bad. This is almost. They should have done it like this. This almost looks better.
That was one of the first things I was like, I bought. I'm like, why did I buy this thing?
We'll save it for Black Series. We got we got some good stuff on that. I don't know how many Jokers you need like this, though, right? I don't know. That's just me. Maybe it's because I'm not giving it enough love. I'm not the hugest Batman fan. I didn't really go watch the movies, things like that, as epic as people say they were. So, yeah,
no, they're good. This is just not how he looks like in them, and I have no idea what's going on here. So,
and then we have the Bane with the trench coat. So last time we talked about this, we weren't sure what the difference between the Build-A-Figure and this was, and it's definitely the trench coat, especially with what Jason Nelson said about it. So this actually looks really cool. I know it's an STC exclusive, but like if you're going to put out a Build-A-Figure and then your exclusive for the con is the same Build-A-Figure but with the trench coat and as a full figure, I just feel like that should just be something that's released then. Don't make it the Build-A-Figure.
yeah, I mean, you're probably a little bit annoyed if you bought the wave and you didn't like every figure in the wave, and also you're seeing how good this trench coat looks.
This is gonna be in high demand, I think. Yeah, it's gotta be.
I mean, I think it looks awesome.
Not in that inbox picture there. That looks pretty crazy.
Not there. And then the next thing we have is the Joker Bank Robber Gold Label SDCC exclusive. So that's cool. You get his extra head there. So
yeah,
I was wondering. At first when I saw this, I didn't see the extra head sculpt. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just a little mask you push in. But I was like, are you gonna rub off all the paint?
Well, this at least is how it looks in the movie, and the mask is sort of like a deep cut reference to some old Batman stuff. So like, this is good. This is how it's supposed to look.
It should have some.
It should have some guns, but that's a DC McFarlane problem.
Not terrible face paint either. On this one.
This one I thought was pretty cool. This is Batman Nightfall 30th anniversary gold label. It's another Batman, but I think this is the best one. This looks really cool. I like the cell shading on his head. I think the cape looks really cool. I like how they put the logo on the base and stuff. So this is a really cool one, and it's from a really epic storyline. What do you guys think about it?
Most of the time they don't have a print on the bases, right? That's
it normally just says DC or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I was gonna say. That's one of the cooler, but yeah, I agree. The cell shading on the head is really cool.
And then look at that box. I mean, again, a good example of a con exclusive, I feel, and then it's an anniversary piece, so they put the extra work in it. I mean, what if you had to guess? What do you think this is going for?
A single McFarlane figure can't be 70, right? Like, so it has to be less than that, right?
I was thinking like 50 would sound okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I think even as low as 40 because it's a single figure, but I guess gold labels go for a bit more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point though. This is just like it's probably not even 50 US.
I think it might even be less than 40, but you guys got me
Yeah.
saying it higher now. Because I just think like, but yeah, I'd have to see the other one.
Also, like on that back picture, like I know that Batman has a dinosaur in the Batcave for some reason, but I don't know why.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, why is there a dinosaur there? But there you go.
Release the dinosaur now.
Somebody's gonna explain me why in the chat, in the comments, why Batman has a dinosaur.
Real quick, the swamp thing was $50, and he's pretty big, and he comes with all this same stuff. He comes with the little stand. He comes with the picture and the.
That's a good point.
Holder. And then the green John Stewart was $30, and he's similar to this, closer to that than he is the.
$39.99 maybe, $40 like you were thinking.
Yeah. Either way, sorry.
Next thing we got is the DC Classic DC Multiverse Riddler action figure, $24.99, due out in September. I don't like this at all. So if y'all don't have anything nice to say, then I'm just going to move on.
Next.
No, you can, yeah. It's true to the comic, I'll say that.
It really is true to the comic, too.
Like the picture there.
Next one is Catman, Villains United, gold label 7-inch figure. This is a McFarlane store exclusive. Pre-orders will be shipped in August, $24.99.
This is like the cat lady's dream, I guess, but this is weird. What is this?
This is a
I've
classic
never heard of this.
character.
Yeah,
This is
never heard.
He looks like he's from the 60s, sort of, based on his costume and mask and all that.
He
But
couldn't decide if he wanted to be Batman or Catman. So
he is
Catman.
He's DC knockoff theming Black Panther without the sort of political angle.
His parents were killed by alley cats.
Yeah, and he's from America. He's
Catch
not
Catch
from
Fever.
he's not from like a science fiction country.
Have you ever heard of this before this moment?
No.
Okay, just making sure I'm the only one, not the only.
Ben Thomas says cats always land on their feet.
Exactly.
Unless they're 7-inch McFarlane figures and then they fall over.
And the world is waiting to find out who the next person to take the mantle of Catman is, Yeah.
Ben for the win. Dino explanation. Here we go.
I heard he's in this Catman's in the new Flash movie.
Are you serious or is that just...
No.
Thank God.
Okay.
This is another one that I thought looked really cool. Superboy Prime Infinite Crisis Patina Edition 7-inch McFarlane figure. Also a McFarlane store exclusive. Pre-orders ship in August, and it's $30. I mean, this just has a look to it, and if you can get it floating like it does in that card, I think this could be a really good looking figure.
Yeah, they nailed the oxidizing copper effect. It's a little bit of, it's a rusty penny. It looks great.
Yeah, cool paint. Good price too for like that.
Moving on to Super 7. So they finally gave us the specs on the ThunderCats Ultimate Cat layer. $650, guys. This is pre-orders closed for this on the 17th. And it's due out in October of next year.
Yeah.
$650 like for a playset,
Yeah, well,
like, I get major Power Ranger vibes from this, because I have the original playset, the command center, and man, I don't know if I could pay for an updated version that was $650.
well, that's okay. This is the problem, right? Like it's a design problem. They like you were a couple weeks ago we were showing those shots of him sort of sitting in the computer console on the inside. Like this thing is way bigger than it needs to be. They could have done something a little different. They could have hit the drawing board so that it could be half the size. It's not an important enough franchise to have a $650 playset. It's not the HasLab Ghost that's going to come out for $650 in a day or two.
Do we see the other side?
Yes, I'll show you in a second.
Okay,
but
that's
for
fine.
our
No rush,
listeners,
I was just curious.
For our listeners, this is 36.7 inches tall and 29.3 inches wide. And then it has Lion-O scaled 7-inch scale sitting next to it, and it looks like a 3.75. Like,
Yeah,
this
when
thing
I
is
saw that and
huge.
saw 7-inch, I was like, oh my god.
It's
So-
just a mistake. Somebody didn't think about it somehow, and they got made. So if you like it as an accident, that's a good reason to buy it, because like somebody definitely like accidentally approved something at some stage here.
So the backside of it is like the back of the mountain and stuff, and then it opens up. But let me get into some of this other stuff about it. So there is an early funding bonus, and if the goal is hit by July 30th, all early backers will receive the key to Thundera, and you got 10 days, and they need
Like-
3,000 for the early backing. It is currently at 854.
Okay, so it's probably
So-
not going to happen.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Imagine if we even got like 3 3/4 like Star Wars playsets like this. Like, this is so crazy that like the amount of detail and the scale of this is just like obscene.
They are running it though till September 17th. Is that right?
What's up, Cypher?
The pre-order.
Yes.
So that's a good amount of time. Don't get me wrong; it's a big number to hit, and yeah, I'm sure you guys are pretty much the prices. And I said this last week. Super 7 sold the. This thing was gonna be. I knew this was gonna be really pricey because they sold the turtle car, and that thing was not cheap.
Well, and you know, like Chris was saying, like if Hasbro did this, I guarantee you it would not be $650. Probably be a lot more. You know,
Probably
and it's like 7-inch scale,
this is
or not
insane
7-inch
now.
scale, but it fits the 7-inch figure. But so here's the key. This is what you're gonna get if you're an early backer, and again that you have 10 days to hit that 3,000 mark, which is really far away. Tier 1 is at 4,000, and you're going to get the Sword of Omens, and then the Claw Shield and 1 lab set. And then tier 2 at 5,000 backers is exclusive ThunderCats Ultimate Astral Projection Lion-O figure.
Whoa.
That's deep for a children's show. I didn't know he did that.
That's intense.
And then here's the
Whoa.
here's the figure at SDCC.
Oh
I mean,
Jeez.
look at this thing, huge.
Okay, the
This is like a
asking
shrine.
price is the asking price sort of makes sense, like it is, but I just felt like the turtle van was a little overpriced, I guess, for what you were getting. But the size of this, I guess, makes it a little. $650 is still a lot.
Dear
though, for
Odin.
this.
Exactly my
Dude,
thoughts.
This is insane. This is.
I mean,
incredible. Though.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's
Exactly.
impressive, is what it is. You know.
And if
mean-
anyone wants it, go for it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
This is your
like
chance.
this is like look, but like you know, you need to. This is almost one of those things that if you have uninitiateds coming over, you almost need to hide it because it's gonna look like you pray to this devil tiger statue.
This
like,
is
it's-
definitely you put it under a little sheet
Enter
when
my
people come
lair.
over.
It's yeah, like it's yeah. This is a bigger monument than most people have in their homes to their preferred deity. So
I mean, even the hardcore ones only have a picture.
of Obi-Wan, yeah.
Exactly.
It's not. Yeah, this is crazy.
It is cool though. Look, the ledges are like figure stands. You could put guys up there fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
That
That is pretty cool.
And the paint's pretty cool on it. So,
I mean, if you had the whole team, you can open up the back like that, just display them on the front. You get the whole inside. I mean, this is cool. I don't know. Is it $650 cool? Not for me.
exactly, yeah. That's
But
I really,
for someone out there, for 854 people, it's pretty cool for them. But man, that's a. I know we got time, but that's a long ways just to get it backed.
yeah, they need 3,000.
Moving on to SH Figuarts and Bandai. So the first thing we got is the SH Figuarts Son Goku from from Dragon Ball GT. It's going to be 5,500 yen, or about $36 USD. Official US prices have not been released on this figure yet. And then pre-orders opened on the 14th, so just a few days ago, and it will be released next year in January. I think this looks really cool. You get all these different head sculpts right there. I guess like they're plated, right? That's what SH Figuarts does, and I think these look really cool. What do you guys think about them?
Man, the just the paintwork on this is crisp, man. I don't know, like the head looks great, and I just wonder, maybe he's a little top heavy at that height, but like it just looks extremely polished, and the detail looks fantastic on the thin line work there.
And
Yeah,
then
I've always loved their sculpts, the way they capture the expressions.
so it's gonna come with, of course, the main body. It's gonna have 3 interchangeable faces, 5 pairs of interchangeable hands, interchangeable head parts, and then replacement dogi. I don't know what that is part. And then the effect piece for the Kamehameha wave. So, and then
These guys, they know how to take pictures here too. It's good. These guys know what they're doing.
secretly Chris does it, so he's just pushing it a little bit,
There you go. Yeah.
And then the next one we got is SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku, Kaioken version. That's a mouthful.
Bless you.
Thank you. And then it's pre-orders open on the 21st for this. This particular item will only be available on V-Jump's special campaign in Japan. Full details are in this month's copy of V Japan. For all other areas, check local distributors. So, pretty exclusive. I mean, that kind of reminds me of what they used to do with like the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. You only get the exclusive cards in the Shonen Jump magazine and stuff like that. So, kind of cool, but looks like it's going to be really hard to get.
Yeah, Dragon Ball stuff's so tempting, but yeah, especially that little Son Goku, but like the small guy. This is also Son Goku. Sorry, so.
Next thing we got is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla -1. So this is for their new movie that's coming out here in a few months. It's going to be 14,850 yen, or about $107 USD. Pre-orders opened a couple days ago on the 18th, and it's due out in November. And I think this guy looks cool as hell. Like, look at those spikes on the back. That is awesome. I don't have any Godzillas, but man, this thing looks better than the ones I've seen before.
Oh yeah. They hid the articulation really nicely too. I mean, I can't tell if the legs just have minimal articulation or if it's like geniusly designed, but it really doesn't look like there's much room for those legs to move around. So I don't know how that works. Beautiful though.
Shout out to Dylan. He's I'm sure he would have wanted, or at least be thinking about it. This is cool. And the tail articulation, it's like,
look at that.
Didn't expect that.
And then the next thing we have is the 15th anniversary of Iron Man 2. Man, it's been 15 years. That's crazy. SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark IV figure. In Japan, the figure is a premium Bandai Web exclusive. It's 9,900 yen, or about $71 USD, which I would suspect to be a lot higher once it hits our distributors. Pre-orders opened on the 14th, and it's due out in December. I really like this a lot. It's not the suit I would have wanted from Iron Man 2. I really like that one with the triangle chest piece. So, but I mean, it looks really cool. And then you get the glasses for when he's sitting on that big donut eating donuts. And the face sculpt just doesn't look good. You know, I mean, I think they could have done a lot better, but...
Those eyes.
It looks better with the glasses on, yeah. Sorry.
His eyes. What's wrong with his eyes? No, this looks cool. It kind of almost... it looks like it's die cast. I don't think it is, though, right? Because they don't normally do that.
I actually... Let's see. I have the link right here.
Yeah,
Paint
this
job
is
sells
cool.
it.
5.7 inches tall, interchangeable mask, multiple hands, repulsor blasts. I don't see that it's die cast. Normally they are though, right? Aren't they normally?
I don't know, to be honest, if they do.
And then you get the donut box.
Oh,
you have
cool.
to get the donut box.
You love little accessories like that.
Yeah. Cool little storyteller here. If this is one of your favorite movies, people say they hated Iron Man 2 or they just didn't like it. Maybe it didn't age well, but I love Iron Man 2. It's probably one of my favorite MCU movies.
I think it's still a fun one.
Yeah. And then we got some pictures from the con. Got the Dragon Ball Z guys all set up here. Trunks looking all cool.
Are those
Vegeta.
all different Gokus? Like, are those all
Yeah.
different versions of it?
So you got Trunks in the back here. In the front, you got a Vegeta. And then you got 3 Gokus.
Are they all... So this is
Unless
like...
it's
Dean would probably be able to explain this, but do they all come with different, attack add-ons or something? It's weird they're
I
just
think-
showing 3 of the same
I
suit,
want to
almost.
say a while back we talked about an accessory pack for this. for
Maybe
these
they're just
guys.
showing that off and the hair piece and stuff. Because the hair movement is cool on that one. But... Oh, wow.
And then you got the Ginyu Force
Very cool.
with Frieza. Some anime figures. Naruto. This we didn't talk about last week. We should have, but yeah, I think this guy looks really cool. The chainsaw head guy.
Oh, yeah, Chainsaw Man. Everyone talks about this.
And then this is from Berserk. Or is it Berserk? Or how do they have
I
it?
recognize Berserk. Yeah, that's the first one. I'm
Right.
feeling so uncultured here, guys. I don't know. You got to help me out. None of us are into this stuff. And Badfish leaves. Yep, that's what happens.
Yep.
Put too many anime figures up, and he dips.
Yep, that's it.
No, I'm here. I just have to... Yeah, I don't know anything
He's
about
picking his
Berserk.
nose. Sorry, guys.
I had to... just to grab something here.
There's the Son Goku right here. This isn't the same one though, is it?
No, I was going to say this is...
I don't think he has that. The orange.
Different outfit.
Yeah, different outfit.
Innocent Challenger.
And then this is something I'm really excited for. SH Monster Arts are going to start doing some of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The Blue Eyes White Dragon is the one they have on display right here. And this guy is huge. I mean, he's big enough where you have to use one of their 4 stand pieces to hold everything up. But at the same time, I kind of feel like, you have those other SH Monster Arts that fly. I don't think they had it that complicated.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about the stand just yet. I hope the wings stay up fairly easy. But this looks amazing. So this could definitely be coming home with me.
Yeah,
This
the
is cool,
stand.
yeah.
Exactly. The stand's just a little, like you were saying, it's just a bit of a distraction, and it sort of takes away from appreciating the sculpt if it actually has to be set up like that.
Over here I have, I'm pretty sure it's Mattel. Mattel did those Pixar figures. I think they were Target exclusives. I don't remember. But I have Crush and Squirt. And Crush and Squirt only look good while they're swimming. So either you have them sitting on the floor or you had to get them up on a base. I had to use 3 SH feet. Or no, I think it was, what's the other company? Not Mafex. Figma. I think I used 2 Figma stands and then some McFarlane stands to get them up. So,
Well,
and that's just a little toy. This is...
I knew
The
someone
thing
in college nicknamed Crush and Squirt.
there you go. he couldn't help himself. But if those NECA gargoyle wings can stay in a position with like a 3mm peg and like they haven't moved, I've been looking at them. Like they're bigger. They look bigger than this, right?
This is cool. Yeah, they'll be able to pull it off with all their previous monster stuff too.
And then like Tamashii Nation does, they always go big with their displays outside. So got a couple really big blow up figures. At least I think they're blow up figures. But
Looks like it, yeah.
all right. So no scavenger hunt today, just because of all the SDCC pictures and stuff like that. But we are gonna go straight into vintage talk. Chris, what do we have?
All right, man. Well, for this segment today, I wanted to lean in a little bit on the idea of world building because we're gonna get to some new Hasbro Vintage Collection stuff a little later in the show, where they're finally sort of letting us build out some environments, specifically Jabba's palace. We got some stuff that went on pre-order over a year ago that matches well with a newly announced piece. So I just wanted to show you guys how good they had it back in the day. If you really you're a little kid, you went to see Empire Strikes Back and you wanted some Battle of Hoth action, there was more stuff than your parents were ever going to buy you. And we start out with this first piece here, which is the your 3 3/4 snow speeder. All this stuff, these are my pieces on these pictures, but they're mostly in the Canadian packaging. So you have your hot pink sky on Hoth, as is a totally normal thing. And this is a pretty accurate recreation of the vehicle, and I don't think they've ever actually made a new sculpt for the snow speeder. Anytime you've ever seen a Hasbro one, it's pretty much been this mold reused with a better paint job.
That's awesome.
And in here you got the king of it's debatable. There's a couple kings of the vintage Kenner line, but this is the most expensive single item for 3 3/4 figures back in the day, and I believe it was $35 for the Kenner AT-AT. And it had lights and sounds and really primitive ones by today's standards, but the chin guns sort of move back and forth while they make a sound and light up, which is pretty crazy. And and if you were the broke kid with the cheap parents, you could get the cardboard AT-AT, which is what you see here, which is just a tiny little base on the ground, and you get a cardboard AT-AT that doesn't really have legs that sticks on the back of it.
This seems cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they did it with the first movie too. There was like a high budget Jawa sandcrawler and then the cardboard Jawa sandcrawler, which was exactly this playset, but in a sand color base instead of snow.
Amazing.
So they got all the bases covered because this was probably like legitimately like $5 when it came out. And it's like, it's pretty big. It might have came with a couple figures packed in or something. So like the value is there. And then what a lot of people don't realize is the first 3 3/4 ATST actually came out for the Empire Strikes Back in the vintage line, because you do see an ATST on Hoth for like 2 shots. So kids got that as a toy, which was a little bit of a cheaper alternative for your Imperial Walker if your parents weren't going to shell out the $35 for the big AT-AT. But this is a fun piece. They reissued it when the Star Wars figures came back in 1995, and they kept using this mold until like 2008 when they finally made a new one.
So you're kind of throwing out some prices here that are, I think, by today's standards, pretty standard. They're that's kind of where some of these figures are adding up. So as an adult collector now who's still into the Star Wars, like, I know you're partial to the vintage stuff, but which one would you have to go with?
Well, do you mean like if you're comparing the quality? Like, I mean, obviously, if you look at this ATST, it's not exactly how it looks in the movie. It's a little bit weird. The little eye panels don't open up, but it's subtle. It's subtle, deep nerd stuff. But the ATST shown in the Empire Strikes Back technically doesn't look the same as it did when it eventually appeared in Return of the Jedi, and some of the details on that are actually closer in this design. But for me, with the Star Wars stuff, like, I don't really look at it as being about screen accuracy. It's more like comic or card collecting, where it's like it's cool to have the packaging that came out at the same time as the original movies for me. So of course the new stuff looks better.
It's more of the nostalgia of what you grew up with, as opposed to Oh my God, Star Wars.
I mean, sure, except for like I'm not like 55, so I didn't grow up with this stuff. But
Well,
like,
but we all kind
not
of,
yeah, nothing
you know,
against I mean, those are all my friends who collect this stuff, and it's just like they wonder why I collect it, and I collect it because the original trilogy is pretty much where it's at. But yeah, moving along on the more stuff Kenner offered children for the Battle of Hoth. Here you have a turret and probe droid set, and like this is like a very accurate recreation of the big turret that you saw in the Battle of Hoth that the rebels are using. You could stick a guy in the top there, and then you get a probe droid, and you got Vader leading some snow troopers. Like they were hooking you up with wild stuff back then. And, this was again probably like $12 or something. And yet another one here, which is like a trench called the Imperial Attack Base. You got the Canadian French side on the screen here. This is a beautiful piece. It's obviously meant to be the trenches that the rebels are in, but I think they realized they were making too many products for the rebel side of the army, so they rebranded the product so the Imperials were in the trench rather than the rebels, just to sort of balance out the products. But yeah, and they kept going here. You got a tauntaun, the tripod laser cannon, and then they did some sort of side vehicles that are like not really in the movie, but they were sort of kept them Hoth themed, like the INT-4 here, which actually just appeared in a Marvel comic. They were reusing it like in a current Marvel comic, even though it's a Kenner toy design that's actually like not canonically from anything. So
what's
they
up,
sort of,
Eddie?
hey Eddie, and so if you go to the next picture there, they're trying to get you to like incorporate that stuff into your other things. So on the side of the box for that little mini rig thing, they showed how your AT-AT can carry it into battle. So they showed a picture of it slotted inside the AT-AT there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And this last shot here is this was taken by Kim Simmons, who was like the photographer for the original packaging for the Kenner Star Wars line, or for Empire and Jedi anyway. And oh yeah, there's a version of the Tauntaun, Ben, that Luke can go inside, and there's an earlier version where his belly didn't open up. They made both. So, they got to resell the same thing with slight adjustment there. But anyways, this shot was actually taken for a store display. And I mean, it's pretty epic. Like, you got all the stuff here. And, the one big thing you can see there is the Rebel troop transport, which I have loose, but I don't have in the box. It's one of the few things I need to finish up. But that's a ship that they haven't released in any modern line. But this is a crazy store display shot that Kim Simmons did, and I got a print from him, and I got this print from him because he still had all the negatives for this stuff, and I got this like 35 inches wide, and I love this shot. The store display is a very similar image, but it's like it's like a $5,000 to $6,000 piece in rough condition for the actual store display these days. So, but this gave you a pretty good idea of all the stuff you could get for the Battle of Hoth back in 1980-81.
This reminds me a lot of back in like elementary, middle school, when you take a piece of paper and you draw your TIE fighters and your X-Wings in battle and stuff, and you scratch some of them out because they blew up and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, this is what it would have been about right here.
Well, the crazy thing there's a behind the scenes shot of him sort of setting up this photo, and like dude has it all laid out like in a like 20 by 20 foot room, because there's none of these images are composited. The only post-production effect here is the lasers, right? All the rest was actually sort of sitting in frame in place on wires and stuff. So they had to do it mechanically back in ancient times.
And before we go into Black Series, let's get a code. SDCC?
Safe.
That's a good one, yeah. Real quick, just about the AT-AT, that was the 95, I guess, re-release. My friend had that. That was like the one that I never got, but I was like, man, that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as that one. They put some electronics in it, but
looks very similar.
So like I said before, if you haven't done so already, please go and to Collector Zone Cantina, follow him, go subscribe to Auxiliary, or go follow Auxiliary, subscribe to Collecting Weekly, and then go check out the Ben Thomas Show on YouTube. Follow him for your extra bonus code and 16fix. And your new bonus code that's coming out right now, SDCC.
You have the link to the form as well.
Yeah, we get that right now.
Sorry, I was trying to find it.
Do you have it?
It's at the
Here.
bottom of the
I just
sheet,
got
or
it.
is it the top?
There you go.
The top. Sorry. There we go.
All right. Let's get into some Star Wars Black Series. So the first thing we got is Chris's favorite show on Disney Plus. Marvel Legend. I'm sorry, not Marvel Legends. Black
Whatever.
Series, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Legends version. Is going to be $27.99 or 97 cents due out in November. This is a Walmart exclusive, I believe. And man, they have weird pricing, I feel like. 97 cents. What do you think, Chris?
I don't recognize the existence of this incarnation of Obi-Wan, so I don't have much to say about it. But you know, it should come with like a surfboard and a shark.
You don't want it for the little model that he comes with.
It's
I
the
mean,
toy. It told the
it's-
story.
It's Luke's most embarrassing moment. You know, he's 22 years old and he's going zoom, zoom, zoom. I got a little spaceship here. It's not
What is
good.
that called? The hopper? I forget what that's called. The sky
T16. Yeah, you got it.
it's
T16
T16.
Skyhopper.
Ben Thomas 5 away from 1.8K. Let's help him, guys. Let's get it there. And then we got this guy. So we got the Star Wars Black Series Qui-Gon Jinn Force Spirit Star Wars action figure 6-inch. Also $27.99. This one's due out in October. I'm not exactly sure how this works because there's the cloak and then you can take it off. But you know what this
Yeah.
reminds me of? And I meant to put a picture of it, but it's that guy in the stadium where he has his hands on his shoulder like this. He's all pissed off in his red vest.
Yep.
That's what this reminds me of.
He looks pissed. He's like, "Why did you make this show?"
Yeah. Well, can you imagine Liam Neeson having to show up for that one day and they're like, okay, we're going to give you your exact 1999 costume and you have no idea what's going on in this show and we're not going to bother explaining it to you because you won't care anyways. But you're just doing it so we don't recast you.
Well,
Weird.
Obviously, it's not screen accurate. There's no hole in his stomach.
Yeah, that goes away. and you're also, but you know, the real problem with these is like, he literally has like a sparkly gown. When you have a super articulated action figure, you can't make a clear, translucent like Force Ghost figure. That's why the top half of them is painted, because when you see all the pegs and joints and everything, it just doesn't look that good. And like, also, this is just like, that last scene was just, you know, it was just a little bit of extra salt on the wound of stupidity in this show, and like, it just shouldn't exist. And why would you ever remind someone of it? I'll tell you why. Because they already made the sculpt for a Qui-Gon figure, and they're just shoveling more garbage your way. I'm offended.
Money. Yeah, you're and that's a good way to lead into this comment by Money Mendez. Why did they pose him like a Karen?
That's amazing.
Because he was just
so funny.
Karen Qui-Gon.
Yeah, he was just watching Obi-Wan with disappointment for those 6 or 7 days where he just made some of the poorest choices of his life.
Okay, but I have to be honest. I actually enjoyed watching the Obi-Wan series. It was a little slow until we started getting to like the Darth Vader stuff and all that. And I liked Qui-Gon in episode 1. So I wouldn't buy this
Yeah.
figure, but they could have done something so much better. You know, they could have done it a little bit differently. But I think that last scene it was a cool scene. Like, this kind of goes into like furthering the story.
Sure, the story that is already continued before and after the Obi-Wan show better, but it's like what. And but you know, you're good for liking Qui-Gon. Episode 1 is a quality film.
I as well, weirdly, I do like this show in a weird way. I don't think I'm gonna collect. I might get one of the Darth Vaders with the cut things, but I'm not a big fan of it. There was definitely a lot of cheesy parts, like the forest
Mm-hmm.
running around with Leia, and like there was some, and the trench coat. There was some bad stuff, but there was some fun parts too. But
So
I can agree with Chris to see why you say it shouldn't have even existed.
Yeah. Well, when you dedicate too much of your life towards Star Wars like me, you take this stuff personally, and
I understand.
it was triggering. Yeah.
you know, on Casual Nerd Problems on the Monday show, CC was talking about several weeks ago about Mondo. They do art prints, and it had that scene, and it's just their eyes. It's Obi-Wan like realizing that it's Anakin, right? And then it has Anakin's scarred, or Darth Vader's scarred helmet on, and they're just kind of both looking at each other. I think that's all I would have needed. I think that was one of the coolest scenes. Probably, I'm sure Chris disagrees with me.
Hey,
but,
whatever. That wasn't the worst part of the show.
Jeez, these ghost hands too. They're strong here.
Moving on into some TVC, we got the SDCC exclusive Star Wars Vintage Collection Chrysanthemum, $39.99, due out summer of this year. Sorry, summer of this year. This will be obtained via QR code from the booth desk, and it will take you to the Hasbro website. So this is just kind of like what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
You know, Hasbro kind of go on the paperless or the paper route now, and others not so much.
But I mean, it looks amazing. You're gonna pay $39 US for a 3 3/4 scale figure, but it looks wild. They did a good job. I think he comes with 3 sets of hands. Like, that's crazy. Like a bunch of stuff. The box is reminiscent of the vintage Wampa, kind of. I mean, technically, he's probably pushing like 4.5 inches because he's a Wookiee, but still, it's a little bit pricey for what you're getting, but the packaging sure is extravagant. And in Canada, you'd had to pay $40 for that fake bootleg Black Chrysanthemum Black Series figure they tried putting out like a year ago. So it's a lot better than that.
What do you think about what Equan says? $40 for a 3.75 figure. Man, I remember when these were $10.
Yeah, not even the retro collection is $10 now, right? Like in Canada, like the 5 POA retros for Star Wars are $20. So
the price on this is nuts, yeah. But I also, it's weird that the top left of the where it's opened up, looks like it's almost just an empty slot in the top left. I don't know what's going on there, but this, I ask why though for this. Why? Why a special edition for this character? I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't think he was that popular, I guess is my point.
I think he had a bigger role
Maybe I'm wrong.
In the comic than he did like obviously
dude,
the show.
Yeah.
But...
Listen, I'm cynical as heck about the Disney Star Wars stuff, but the first episode where Chrysanthemum shows up, and it's the same one where like the twin Hutts show up right at the end. Like, man, that scene where he first rolls up and he's all intimidating, and then the 2 Hutts come in, and then the episode ends. At that moment, I thought the Book of Boba Fett was going to be so good. And then the next week happened, but it's a beautiful. Like, he looks great on the show. It's just the show is just so very stupid.
He had a couple of moments when he spoilers for anyone who's never gonna watch the show, but when he pulled the dude's arms off, like, that was kind of fun. But it's, again, I don't think he had enough moments to make him desirable, like this. This character, though. This character, I think, this is cool.
The next thing we have is a Star Wars Black Series Star Killer and Stormtroopers Hasbro PulseCon exclusive. It's $110.99, due out in the fall. So here in a second, we'll see. Once we get through the Marvel stuff, we'll see an actual live picture, but it is TVC, I believe. So
that's Black Series.
Yeah, this is a 6-inch Black Series.
Really? Because I thought I saw something else that said it was TVC. I'm sorry. This should have been with the other stuff. But what
Hey
Yeah,
man,
right.
I
what's
like
the
this,
difference
I like
really?
this game. I like this game, but what do you think? Is it too late? Is it not too late? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I know Badfish. You must have played this too, right, Badfish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this okay, listen, man, this is just from a better era of Star Wars. Like what can you say? This is like saying is it too late to get a Return of the Jedi Luke figure? Absolutely not. You just got to do it right. And the thing here is like the packaging is beautiful, but at the end of the day, you're getting two of the sort of Rogue One era stormtroopers packed in here, and it's just inflating the price. And if you want Black Series stormtroopers, you've got them already. So here's the deal, like they're going to release this guy single carded, you can bet your life on it. So if you want your star killer Galen Merrick, I would just hold off because I'm sure they're not going to miss out on the opportunity of releasing him in a single box, and I don't need all these Dragon Ball Z effects that he comes with.
When I saw the price as well, I was like, "What's going on?" And then I read, "Oh, there's 3 figures." But yeah, I agreed that stormtroopers could be just axed from this in a way. But I see what they're going for, obviously. But and if this is your one, you're not buying a whole lot. You buy just this. But I don't see that. I see a real not a real collector. Sorry, I see more hardcore collectors buying this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, on principle, I almost think it's cool to support like when Disney releases stuff from like the expanded universe before they bought the company, that was like just no big deal, way better than anything they've made since. It's good to support those products because it shows that like you guys should do more stuff like this. But you don't need the stormtroopers. If you're a hardcore fan of this game, I think this is a cool buy though, because you're not gonna see a lot of stuff like this.
So if you're the passive Star Wars fan, maybe not for you, but a hardcore one worth the price of one about $111.
I think it's a monument to the Force Unleashed, which is if you're that
You're gonna
guy,
pay a premium for.
yeah.
I think it will be popular just because of that. There's so many people love this game, and to the point that Chris said, this is always going to be not always popular, but it's not really ever too late to release this guy. I think people
Well,
have
and
been
it
wanting
kind
a
of
better
crosses
version of him.
it kind of crosses collecting genres, right? I mean, if you're just a fan of the video game and you're not so much into the other stuff, the other like Black Series stuff, it might be a cool buy for you.
Yep.
This is the
And
first 6-inch one, I believe, of him too, right?
Yep, and he's been out. There was a TVC one like 10 years ago that recently got reissued. It really needs an update. This actually is going to look like Sam Witwer, the actor from the game. And one other thing, I replayed this earlier this year, and if you're like me, disappointed by everything Disney pretty much does, and you don't like the Kenobi show, it's not too old to play this again, and it has a fantastic story and gameplay. So do yourself a favor.
Still good games.
And moving on, the last thing we got is the Star Wars Vintage Collection Jabba the Hutt set for $89.99 due out September 15th.
All
What do y'all
right.
think? I don't know what I think.
You don't know. Well, this is not, it's not really your wheelhouse. The special
Not
thing
really.
here, is that this will slide right in to your, if you're a lunatic like me who pre-ordered the Bib Fortuna, big fat Bib Fortuna throne room, this will slide right in there and give you the correct look of Jabba's palace, not the fake news version of Jabba's palace. So, you want to do that. And you're gonna have the most beautiful Jabba's palace that that has ever existed. I just wanted to see if I knew Sean wouldn't have much to say about this. I want to see if Badfish has any passionate feelings about Jabba the Hutt. But it's been out before. There's been versions of this in the past. I wanted to show the one I have here. This is the desirable version of Jabba. This is like a 2010 version. I don't know if you can make this big, Sean, but this came with Ula instead of 88, which automatically makes it better. But the throne on this one has a little more going on. It has some sculpted pillows. That's pretty advanced. I think the new one it has some soft good stuff on top there instead. But that new Jabba is a bit nicer than this one. So I think that if you want a more accurate Jabba, you should go for this if you haven't already got the other one. But this Jabba has already come out in a 2013 Black Series with the Rancor 3 3/4, and it came out with the Barge as well. So this Jabba's been around for a while. So he's available in other places. The 88 doesn't do much for me. You can get older versions of him. He doesn't need to be wildly articulated.
It does seem like it comes with quite a bit, though. Like if you are getting the palace, right, you can dress it up pretty good with some of the like the rugs and the, I guess, pillows is what those are supposed to be. Got his little hookah stand.
Yeah, pillows with no stuffing by the looks of it.
They put the least amount of stuffing possible in there, but I do like that they're soft goods, but the price isn't terrible when you consider the chrysanthemum is $40 and this is $90. So
Marky Marks here.
And you're getting 3 figures and a whole like setup, like a diorama kind of thing.
Exactly.
The price is a lot better for this, but then if you in comparison, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool, especially if someone doesn't have this. I would love to compare it to the one you have. I'll look. You can send me the year that was released. I'll look it up. But
yeah, it's that one's 2010, but it's
Okay.
but if you try and get that one these days, it'll run you a couple hundred.
Yeah, I'm just curious how the throne looks, but otherwise, I think it's a cool buy especially if you've maybe just never got this.
Yeah, I mean, the Jabba looks great. It's undeniable. It's basically a shrunk down version of the Black Series one, which is also being re-released if it's not already available. So it is the nicest 3 3/4 Jabba.
Oh yeah, the Jabba's way better on this.
And then moving on, we have I don't do too much of the one-to-one stuff, but when some of them come out, I like to cover them. The Star Wars Black Series Scout Trooper Premium Role-Playing Helmet for $131.99. This is going to be due out August 15th of this year.
Yeah, this is...
Badfish, did you say you're looking to get this, or...
God, all these helmets are tempting, man. I have pretty much gotten almost everyone. Not like I told you, I didn't get all the Stormtrooper ones, and I didn't get the re-release of the Vader. I already had the Vader, but this is a cool character too. Like, I mean, who doesn't love the Scout Trooper? I love Return of the Jedi.
Tremble. Yeah, we went through some of the Mezco stuff. We didn't get it all on there. I did see the FF stuff. I just didn't have a chance to get up, so I'll try to get it up on the next show.
Yeah, this is awesome. I just love the way they display. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty selective with these. I only have the plain Stormtrooper and the Boba Fett from Empire, but you don't need to wear it, Tremble. You put it on the wall with, like, basically what you go on Amazon and you get what's called a motorcycle helmet stand wall mount.
That's exactly how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. And you put that on your wall. And it looks great. And this is iconic design. It's been reused a ton on The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and all that other high quality entertainment. So, this has stood the test of time. It's a classic design. And it's cool. The real cool thing about this is that in the movies, you never see the front piece flip up, but you can see that it's designed that way with the hinge. So it's cool because it's almost like a behind the scenes detail, because, like, in Jedi, you never see them flip up the helmet, but they were going to actually have that on screen in the film, but they sort of didn't end up doing it. So it's cool that it's part of this role play design.
Yeah, Hasbro, just last thing I'll say, is does a great job with these two. Like, not completely accurate, but for the price, they're really cool.
Yeah, like, we couldn't have imagined having stuff like this for like $150 like 10 years ago. Like, it's crazy. Like,
I remember,
and it's cheaper in the U.S.
I remember walking through one of the malls way back in the day and seeing Power Ranger helmets and being like, only place I've ever seen them, never knew they existed, and them just being crazy expensive, So it's cool to see that, Hasbro is putting out these helmets from Marvel, Power Rangers, Star Wars, stuff like that, because this is a whole other hobby in itself, really. I mean, you can get one of these helmets and then cosplay, and like part of the battle's done is always getting the helmet.
Do you have any of the Hasbro helmets, like the Iron Man or anything, Sean?
I have the War Machine Punisher helmet. I have
I was gonna say, I
Star
thought you had
Lord's
one.
helmet. And then the only other role-playing pieces that I have from Hasbro are the gauntlets. The gold and the red. The nano and the regular gauntlet. So I'll go to the school sometimes and I'll wear the Star-Lord one
Yeah.
for like superhero day and stuff. I've done that before.
The Power Rangers, they did some Power Ranger ones, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and I did Power Rangers one year, but I just brought the Morpher.
Yeah.
Because if I want to do Power Rangers, well, and I've always said this too about Iron Man. If Power Rangers and Iron Man, if I'm going to own the helmet, I need a suit. I can't just have the helmet.
That's fair.
And then moving on to Marvel Legends, we have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man versus Morbius 2-pack Walmart exclusive. This is going to be $50 due out in the fall. I don't think this is a good exclusive, and I don't think this is a good like anniversary piece. Both of these figures have been released before. I don't remember if Morbius had that little jacket on the back or like his cape spread out, but like this.
Don't think so.
I think there's a different way you could commemorate it.
Very dramatic with the cape there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. These are weird for me because it looks like they don't retool the arms, like the additional arms. Like they have to adjust it to make a spot for them to go in. But that big like sphere at the base of the arm on like the lower body just looks like they just pulled it off something else, which I'm sure they did. And it just looks very, it looks very anatomically incorrect because I know what a 6-armed man is supposed to look like, and I don't know. The shoulders are a bit weird there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It almost seems like the abdomen area is a little like elongated. Like I don't remember him being that super long, but
probably had to get that extra arm in there. But yeah, it's. I remember this episode, but yeah, I'm sure somebody's looking for it. What's the price on this? $50? That's not terrible.
Yeah, $50. I mean, you're paying for 2 figures,
It's not terrible, 25 a piece.
But I think if like
normal.
you really didn't want to buy the $50 one, I still think you could find the 6-armed Spider-Man probably discounted somewhere. Maybe not Morbius, but maybe get them for $20. So now this one's cool. I really like this one, but it's another Build-A-Figure that was redone. I believe this was the Build-A-Figure. The Marvel Legends series Joe Fixit 6-inch scale Marvel Legends figure. This one's going to be $38.97 due out in September.
So somebody custom made the Hulk a gigantic Tommy gun.
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, it's funny how if you give 30s aesthetic and make him like a mafia guy, you're allowed to just have like a real automatic weapon like with your Marvel Legends. That's cool. But this, I mean, aesthetically this is fun. I don't know who he's fooling that he's like a regular dude with the suit and everything. I haven't read this one. Looks cool though. Great design.
I love
cool
all the Hulk
it.
figures. All the Hulk figures look really cool.
I'm really not a
excited
reuse
for that anniversary. Yeah.
It's a new body, right? Like he's got a suit. It has to be. All right.
Yeah, the paint on the stripes are cool, and I don't know what I've heard of him, but I've never know nothing about the character.
The next one we got is the Marvel Legends series Captain America Bucky Barnes Avengers 60th anniversary figure, $24.97, also due up September 7th. I believe the original one people absolutely loved. So I could see this being really cool, especially when you get Cap with a gun.
I was gonna say that about the big Tommy gun. Actually, they're not afraid to actually put some guns in.
Yeah, it's not banned like it is with WB, I guess.
This is
But
kind of cool how shiny it is. Otherwise, the bottom part kind of looks goofy to me. The all black transition is just kind of weird. It's probably how it is in the comic or something, but yeah.
And then another 1-to-1 that we have is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Captain Carter Premium Roleplay Shield. This is going to be $150, due out in the fall. I think this looks amazing.
I think
I've
okay,
never had one of the shields, but this is cool.
well, this is, if you're only gonna have one, this is probably not it, right? Like, I feel like America is like too patriotic of a country to try and market this product to. What do you think, Sean?
America.
I will not put another country's flag up on my wall. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is neat. I was so close to buying the original one when it was at Toys R Us or something, and then at one of the cons as well. They had it there. Yeah, never did. I think they released like a more premium one at some point too, like more shiny, but I never grabbed them.
I found a very poorly done plastic one at the Spirit store one year when I was Captain America. And I bought that instead. And when I saw the original one come out, it's like, hey, I got this one. It's cool. But you know which one I really like is the stealth one from Winter. Is it Winter Soldier?
Okay, yeah.
I really like the stealth one. If I were to get one, it'd probably be that one.
Did they release a roleplay version one of that, like the full size one? Oh,
Yep.
okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
All right, so we got some pictures from SDCC. We did take out the HasLab, the Joe Assault Copper, fully funded. I don't think it reached the last tier, but it got most of the way. So good for them. So those Joe fans are going to be really happy, the ones who backed that. But anyway, we got some SDCC stuff. This was from their breakfast show that they did. At least the Marvel Legends stuff was. Where they showed off just some of their figures that are coming out. I think this Black Widow's already out. I think I've seen it drop a couple of times. It's part of that Beyond Earth's Mightiest line. Same with this Iron Man. As soon as I get my hand on this Iron Man, I am grabbing it. I cannot wait for this figure. And then you got this big old Iron Man. They call it the Detroit Steel.
That's what I'm talking about. That's patriotic. You want to put that on your desk. That's
interesting.
That's a new reveal, right?
This is brand new. Yeah, this was an STCC thing.
That's cool. That has a lot going on. That's nice.
Look at it, got that Gatling gun on its arm like that.
Yeah, with the steam, with the smoke. Even though the smoke is like fire, but it's cool.
And then it's the Banner Hulk figure. So I don't know if this Hulk is going to be the same as that 80th anniversary one they did a while back, that big old box set when they started doing the retro stuff. But the fact that this one comes with a Bruce Banner kind of does a little bit of a storytelling thing. I think it missed just barely, though. He needs like a screaming face. So there's that XM Studios version, right? I think it's XM Studios. Where he's on his knees and he's freaking out and he's fixing to turn into the Hulk. But
yeah, that would pose a lot better for a display purpose. You sort of get a little more story out of it the way you're describing it.
And it's
Sean.
that comic cover. That's the comic cover for sure.
Nice.
Pre-Vizsla.
Man.
What do you think?
Pre-Vizsla, what a weird, it's one of those times where they got really dumb with Star Wars character names because, like, he's somehow related to the Jon Favreau character. He's called Paz Vizsla. Get it? Like, how embarrassing. But anyways, this is a Clone Wars guy. So, it's cool to see him sort of finally getting a decent Black Series release. The helmet has some unique details, and he actually does a lot of cool stuff in the Clone Wars series. And I think he's in Rebels a little bit too.
This is cool. Paint's cool on the chest and the helmet, but I don't know if I'll grab it. I would be interested in this one personally.
Their Mandalorian line, just in general, seems to be coming together pretty good. I mean, I have a friend that I used to work with at the comic shop, and that's basically what he collected, is just all the Mandos.
Yeah,
no
and
shortage.
Yeah.
and you can see I don't know if there's a close up of it, but you can see the Grand Inquisitor there for the vintage collection in the background. Why do they waste their time?
This reminds me so much of Jango Fett, though. This whole sculpt,
Yeah,
boots, everything. It looks like it's the Jango, but
it
whatever.
probably is. It probably is. Yeah, actually, when you look at the shoes, they really do look like it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Could be.
I love that figure though. Whoa,
And
that's
then there's the
that saber.
Yep. This looks cool. I think it's cool that you get some troopers with it. It may not be necessary, but I think that's a big part of the game, right? It was like him just like picking up troopers and ripping them apart or doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
So,
That screaming
That's the
head.
homage.
That screaming head sitting by itself is unsettling. Look at that. But but you know, whoever took these pictures, like, thanks for being there. But like, you know, lower the camera a bit. This looks weird. But
well, thanks to Toy Arc for these pictures.
This is
respect, Toy Arc. But you know, we can work together and improve it for next time. You know.
And this, I don't know what you guys think, but this looks so cool. I really want this. That might be the one Star Wars. Do I have any more Star Wars in here? I don't think so. This might be the one Star Wars thing I have.
This
I got all the ships.
badass looking. Look at the paint too. The way the two different types, like the more glossy on the closer to the cockpit, you can see where the wings.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the shine there, and then the more steel on the front, where near the guns. It looks like great paintwork and stuff on it.
Or you can pre-order the Zach Wonderland version, right?
There you go. I mean, you know, you guys, it's well done, but ultimately it feels like because the vintage collection vehicles have really trickled to such like a slow pace. Like, you're gonna get your HasLab Ghost, of course, but then before that, has there been any since the HasLab Razor Crest other than this? I don't think there really has, and it's like this is a rehash of an episode 1 ship. Like, you know, I just want some new, interesting 3 3/4 ships, man. And they really
released Boba's ship too, basically, right?
Yeah, but that's a 2013 sculpt as well. So it's like it's been out a bunch.
They haven't released. Is there anything other than that Boba that they've released?
That's actually new. I don't think so. I guess the speeder bike's technically new, but we've had 50 different ones. You know, it's a Return of the Jedi speeder bike, right? So, you know, this is nice, and it is a fully new design as far as like the tooling and all that, because they had to add in all the recessed parts. But, you know, I think that's one big thing the Star Wars line is missing out on since they went full TVC, is that they can't do like reasonable priced vehicles that are like, you know, like I got one right here. Look at this. This is an A-Wing. It's from a horrible film called The Last Jedi, but this is a pretty nice looking 3 3/4 A-Wing, and it was like $18, and that price point, and this is not that long ago, and there's just nothing filling that space in this line, right? It's like you can get your Mando ship for $150, and you'll get no other vehicles for the surrounding 2 years that are even close to that price point. It's weird. This was not that long ago.
Not being anything in the theaters, I think, for Star Wars is affecting, because and there was obviously a lot of hype with Force Awakens, but yeah, the shelves had different types of vehicles all the time, and they weren't necessarily the TVC versions, but they had interesting ones that you could get, and they had like they had the Poe black one, they had the white one, they had all kinds of crazy vehicles, even just a few years ago.
Yep, and they clearly, you know, if you put a wash on that A-Wing, like a black wash, if you wanted to paint it up yourself just a little bit, it would look it would look good.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the paint a little closer too. I was like, it needs to be a little bit more shiny and a little bit more worn a little bit. So I think a good wash might help it out.
They've lost the technology to do chrome paint, Sean. You know, it's something they could do in the 70s, but they don't know how to do it anymore.
Last question about that. Will you guys pre-order it, or have you?
I haven't.
pre-ordered
on Amazon, I think. I did. I pre-ordered one.
I like it, but it doesn't, it's from my least favorite season of The Mandalorian, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah. That's fair. It does look too cool not to for me.
And here is that 3 3/4 chrysanthemum from the Vintage collection. I mean, looks a lot
Looks
better out of the
cool,
box
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
It's
The price
it's probably,
is just
yeah.
too much, but yeah.
Exactly, but it might be the best looking 3 3/4 Star Wars figure that has come out in a long time. Like for the level of detail, the paintwork, and like all the accessories and everything. He even comes with like the giant like beer stein. Like that's cool.
Yeah, I noticed that this one's actually cut out while the ones in the pictures didn't seem to be, but yeah.
Oh, good catch right there.
The little fruit too is cool.
Yeah, I can remind you of the cringe-worthy ending of the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh no, why would you do that? I just think it's painted well considering the
Or in
size
your
of the
opinion, the
accessories.
best part because it was the end.
Yeah.
Ah,
He literally tosses chrysanthemum like an orange, and he's like, "Wasn't that a weird few days?" Yes, it was.
Here's an orange. And then just gonna go through the rest of this. So they announced their X-Men '97 retro line, I guess, vintage line, retro line for the 6-inch figures. So you get Marvel's Bishop, Gambit, Jean Grey. I'm sorry, Rogue. And then Magneto, and then there's the Wolverine right there. So, I'm sure they'll drop a lot more come tomorrow. That's all we have for Marvel, and I'm just gonna run through the last of this real quick. We have some Four Horsemen stuff. So, this next thing is called the Blood Armor Vorgus Millennius 2. This is a Legion Con release day 1. Also plan to release standard version later on in 2024. Legion Con is in November of this year, the 11th and the 12th. This goes along, or it says it's supposed to go along with its Alithia wave that released, I believe it was earlier this year, late last year. But I think this guy looks really cool. I mean, Legions, I think Mythic Legions kill it. I mean, the different head sculpts that you get, the alternate head sculpts. The only crappy thing is that you would have to get this at the con. So, what do you guys think about this? Have y'all ever looked at Mythic Legions before?
They've tempted me. I do love my generic fantasy figures that are like, you got your elves and your goblins and all that. This guy, it's cool that it's sort of their own IP. He's got some, the armor plate's almost like it's almost like it has a slight samurai vibe to it, like the plates on the bottom sort of hanging off the legs and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's undeniably beautiful. I don't know, did you say if it doesn't come with like that dial piece, does it?
No.
What is that? Yeah, so I wonder if that shows up in a lot of their photos, but you just have another example of guys who know how to take pictures here. But yeah, this is a real fun looking dude, man. I like it. The alternate head's like not that cool, but it looks a little
I
plasticky.
kind of like this transparent. It looks transparent. Maybe it's just like painted red.
Yeah,
I couldn't
but
tell if it was shiny or transparent. Yeah.
but it doesn't fit. Like the main shot there is the other head with like a little plate on there, right? So
I think the mask just looks so cool. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
use the other heads because this does look really cool, and apparently they're cool figures or good
Yeah,
figures.
I mean,
sorry.
I have most of the Alithia wave. It's right here. It had a lot of the Celtic good guys, I guess. It's got moose. They call it moose, and they had a centaur, so I have those two.
Oh, yeah, I
Another
remember that.
Kronos, Alithia and her horse, and then
The
a
cape
couple
on
others.
this, the cape
Yeah,
on
they're
this
awesome.
too. Like, I assume there's wires in some of this, but
there has to be.
And then the next one, this is the last one. It's called Wall Tour, Wall Tour the Mad 2-pack. This is a day 2 release, so you will only be able to get this on day 2 of their Legion Con in November, and basically it's to commemorate one of their longest, I guess, more appreciated artists that was part of the original team, I guess, doing Mythic Legions. But it's a 2-pack where it's going to have one Mythic Legion, which would be the skeleton guy, and then one Cosmic Legion being this skeleton spacesuit guy. But I mean, comes with a ton of stuff. I like the flag, I like the arrows, the gun. I think this all looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like he looks like StarCraft or something with the red gun like that. But why do you need that helmet once you're already a skull? That's the big question bothering
That's
me.
what I was wondering. Being even like in space, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be pressurized, otherwise the head will just float away, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
is he like, what's the mythology behind this guy's? Like, is he a skeleton? Is he undead? Why he's got a spacesuit and guns? I need to understand what's going on here, but it looks beautiful. It's good. It looks like it could be like a cover of like Heavy Metal magazine or something. It's delightful.
The only thing that would suck if you don't collect the space guys and you just want this guy on the left or something. 'Cause to me, he looks so much cooler than the figure on the right, and it just makes me think if I was only collecting the fantasy stuff, he looks awesome with the details on him.
You'll see a lot of this set getting parted out, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this was a last minute thing. It's just the Jada Toys Street Fighters that were previewed at SDCC. This is the best one. This looks amazing right here.
The paint, yeah.
Right, Ryu, right?
Ryu. I only learned that this week because I was rewatching a stream about the iconic one. But the paint on this one is so much better than the ones we just saw. I don't know if they're part of the same line. This is more video game-esque.
Right.
And this is I guess an earlier game, the dark one.
I think this is the new one that everyone was kind of freaking out about, game, and then, but yeah, it looks cool. I believe. Oh yeah, last thing we got today, guys, before we get to all those loyal Patreonies, is grade the figure. So we did this on the last show for the first time, and if you're just seeing it this time, basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna give them an A, B, C, or F grade on some of the figures that we saw today. None of them are really going to be like the SDCC stuff too much, but plus and minuses grades are also accepted. So let's just kind of fly through this because we are at an hour 46 minutes. So the Swamp Thing from McFarlane, Chris, what's your grade?
This is like I don't like a lot of DC McFarlane stuff. I'm guilty for following space fiction and not superhero fiction, but this is just knocked out of the park. He looks beautiful, and he's got a glow in the dark paint jobs usually ruin things, but because it goes sort of green on green and looks like a little bit of a highlight wash, I think this guy looks awesome without having to view him in a dark closet with the lights off. So for that, I'm gonna give him a solid A. Looks beautiful. Great price point for what you get.
What do you think, Badfish?
Yeah, I would probably go up there too with an A minus, because there's a few things that I'm noticing now a little bit more, like that one knee joint looks a little funky, but other than that, yeah, really cool details everywhere. Yeah, and the price point.
I'm gonna give it a solid A. I think this is better than a lot of what they've done. I like how the little armor wood pieces or swamp pieces kind of go over his shoulder a little bit. I really like this particular head sculpt, and then how you get the extra like dagger sword piece for his arm swap out and stuff. So I mean, I don't know too much about Swamp Thing as far as like the things he uses to fight or anything like that, unless it's just brute force. But maybe a fist would have been cool to have with it. So I'll give it an A. I think this looks really good. Next one is the Kid Goku. What do you guys think?
All right, I'm gonna give this a B minus just because I think there's gonna be engineering problems. I think he's using this sphere right now as a stand because he would fall over otherwise because his head's so big for the size of his body, and he's got stubby little arms. Like I don't know if I really believe those hands are getting that close together. Like I need to see evidence from multiple angles that this is actually happening. But like I said earlier, the paint work on the face is good, so B minus.
I'm gonna go a little higher just with the A minus for this one too. Just because I don't know. I think it's actually really well done. I'd maybe go a little bit higher if it wasn't. The price isn't terrible, but it's a pretty small, I guess. But yeah, cool.
I was
details on it.
also going to go with an A minus. I really like how it had all the swap outs for the face. It just brings back a lot of nostalgia, I think, for me, watching Dragon Ball GT and stuff like that. Seeing Kid Goku. I don't know if I would use this particular face because I kind of remember him being more smiley around that time. Like, yeah, he got like crazy mad and fought hard and stuff like that, but I just kind of remember him being a little bit more cheery. And then, like, I think a missed opportunity maybe if he had the Nimbus, that would have maybe pushed it forward a little bit further. But I'm gonna give it a solid A minus. And then Qui-Gon, Ghost Qui-Gon. What do y'all think, Chris?
All right, I'll make it quick.
Only an F.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
as far as an F.
It gets a C for Liam Neeson and for episode 1 being good, but that's the only 2 reasons.
I was somehow also thinking a C because I guess it's not a D because they made it and it exists and it can articulate. But yeah, the overall, yeah, it's not like I said. It's one of the first things I questioned when I bought. I think it was Force Ghost Obi-Wan. I was like, why did I get
I
this?
wish I could erase this scene from my mind. I can't. I wish I could.
Just because of Chris, I'm gonna give this an A plus. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna give it a C minus. I mean, it's Liam Neeson, so he's that's cool enough. But I just don't like. I don't like the cloak. I don't know.
They haven't nailed the effect for the Force
No.
Ghost in this line, and it's their 4th one, and so they can't change it now.
It reminds me of something like a lingerie you would buy. Or something. Now that
Yeah,
I look
well,
at it.
it looks like a pants that would come with like a Barbie or something. Like I don't know, it's sparkly, it's weird looking.
This is
Have you seen that TikTok guy who does Force Ghost Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan talking, and they're like watching Obi-Wan the TV show and like kind of like, why would they do that? What about this? Or why is this?
Sounds good.
I think I seen a clip from it.
All right, and then we have the Star Wars. Why am I blanking on the game?
Force Unleashed.
Right. All right, Chris, what do you think?
All right, this is tough to give a ranking for this sort of exclusive version because I think the Stormtroopers are extra, and technically they're not the accurate version of the Stormtrooper for this game. But as all of you guys know, of course, the little slits on the side of the helmet are not 3D prior to 2016, but everybody knows that. But just saying, it's the wrong version of the Stormtrooper. So for that, I'm gonna give this a B minus because I will gladly buy Starkiller in a single box later on.
I'm gonna go B plus, I guess, just because, like we were saying, if you kind of want just a representation, I can't see where this would be a one and done, like I said, where someone might buy one Hot Toys. But if this is your representation for the game, it's kind of cool. The price is just really rough, like with the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna give it an A minus. I think it comes with a lot. I think the price is a lot. I think Chris makes a really good point though of it being more like a commemorative thing. Like if you're gonna buy this because you love the game.
There is no better figure of this character that exists or was ever made back in the day. So.
And they've never done an effect sculpting like that really for the base.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
And that was my other thing. I really enjoy these effect pieces that come with it quite a bit. I mean, I really like the one with the hand where you can peg in the hand and he kind of looks like he's doing like a force flip and stuff like that. So, yeah, solid A for me. Or what did I say? A or A minus? I can't remember.
A minus, I think. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
I'll
would
give it
be, B plus.
Yeah, you can't
I'll
take
give
it back now.
I'll give it a solid A minus. And then Joe Fix It. What do you guys think?
You know what? I'm usually annoyed by like alternate universe versions of characters in DC and Marvel, but something about the aesthetic of this 1930s Hulk with a Tommy gun tickles me, so I'm gonna give it an A minus. Just a fun looking design.
That's pretty cool looking. Like I said earlier, cool paint job. The price isn't terrible, but I guess it's up there a little bit, almost $40. But B plus.
I'm gonna give it a. I'm stuck between a B and a B plus. I'll go ahead and give it the higher one. Call it a B plus. I don't like how this is basically just like it's the Build-A-Figure. You know, I was just looking at the Build-A-Figure and he doesn't have the line stripes, the pinstripes. I know he definitely didn't come with the gun and stuff, so that's better. But my thing is, if you're gonna make the Build-A-Figure and you're not gonna do it like this, and you're gonna come out with the deluxe and do it again, you know, then like, come on, like, dude, pick a different Build-A-Figure, right? I do like all the other head swap out, pretty cool. I like how he has that little flick on his hair. But I think the selling point for me is just to get a Hulk in a suit with a big ass gun. So I think that's really cool. So I'll give it a B plus.
Nice.
And we are going to just kind of fly through all of this. But if you haven't done so already, go sign up for that Collecting Weekly 3,000 subscriber giveaway. Someone's going to win this awesome Hot Toys Carnage, sponsored by Collector's Own. And then our code today, our bonus code today was SDCC. Again, that was SDCC. Make sure you type that in for your bonus code and follow all the prompts. We'd like to thank all of our Patreonies, started with Ian Seavey, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valen, Serena, Ben Thomas. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Thanks for being on with us, Ben, today in the chat. You really got the conversations going. Thank you, man. Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joel Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Gun Figs, Badfish, Toy Cartel, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krent, Big Fern, Caesar Motto Keen, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomowski, Rick DiGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, Illustrious Rayner, Alad Morgan, Tukathri, Wah, Derek B, Air Sportillo, Alvin J, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clavenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Matan, Stephen Purchase, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Stephen and Maria Standley, Eddie Manzanares, Luis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. And then your July-August benefits are the ZW sticker and then our soon-to-be-released new Small Talk sticker. I'm hoping about a show away from revealing this. I'm just trying to work on one other thing that's unrelated to the sticker, but it will be fully related to the show. So we're excited to get closer to the 100th episode, but to reveal the new logo. And if you want to be part of the Empire, you can join the Patreonies. Starting with the hot seat, you get the After Dark Patreon chat and weekly shoutouts. For $7.50, you can be a sweet angel, and you will get the stickers sent straight to your door, as well as Ox After Dark replays. And stickers will be sent out every other month. Certified Crispy for $15. You'll get a Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge. Assistance with figure fixes by Zach. Please message them before. And then all the previous benefits of the tiers. International postage will be charged at cost for the certificate. Stickers will be sent every other month. And then our last one is the What a Guy sticker. or I'm sorry, the What a Guy tier at $25. You'll get the Pog Deluxe set on first pledge, doubles of all the stickers, and then the benefits from the previous tier. $5. Postage above $5 will be charged at cost for the Pogs. Stickers will be sent every other month. And then we want to thank our YouTube members as well, starting with Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andreas IB, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Blurred Dad Life, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, Cram, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Dante's Boneyard, Eclectic Collector, Equan, Fat Batman, Garbear, Gotham Cinnabites, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Cards, KJ Smith, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Money Mendez, Mr. Mom Collectibles, Knight, OG Fan, OMFG, Rick, 16 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Full, S-Beam, Sam Gist, Slifer, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunny Vale, The Ben Thomas Show, Toy Cartel, and Zeke. And if you want to be one of our YouTube members, you could start out with the Patreon. If you're already a Patreon for 99 cents, you get the loyalty badges and the emojis, and then the Peanut Gallery at $2.99. And then we have all of our shows on the network, starting with Mondays with the live unboxing, Tuesday with the Collecting Weekly live show, the main show with Zach and Dean, Wednesdays with After Dark, Thursdays, depending on which one it is, Small Talk and OFAC. You'll get OFAC next week. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. On Fridays, Just Another Friday Nights. Those guys have been killing it. They have some good content. Make sure you go support and check them out. And then we have Live and Let Dice, Bricks and Brews, and Ox PD and the reissue show. Badfish, what do y'all have coming up for Ox PD?
I don't know. I might be on. I was actually gonna message them because Dean's on hiatus right now.
Right.
I don't think we'll do it without him. But I would imagine, unless maybe we get Manny back on for one, it would be myself and Manny. But Live and Let Dice is recording Friday, but going live Saturday. So I think you might be able to catch it Friday still, but I think it might be private. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, definitely this weekend. So.
All right, guys, and that is all we have for this show. You guys have any shout outs before we take off?
Oh yeah, I just want to, like you said earlier, Ben was killing it in the comments today, and I hopped in on a couple of his Sunday shows over the last few weeks, and that's been real fun. So he really has an open discussion over there, and he lets me be my true dark, cynical self. So I really enjoy that platform. So you should definitely
it
check
gets
out.
darker than this?
Oh yeah, you should definitely check out Ben's show. And then one other thing, if you're in the Toronto or New York area, I'm part of this convention we're setting up. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's called May the North Be With You. It's coming up real soon on August 5th and 6th. But, we're going to have some guys who worked on the original films there. We're going to have some very famous original Star Wars props there. And even a rocket firing Boba Fett. If you've ever heard of that, you can see one in person. And, it's going to be a crazy small Star Wars show in Toronto. So if you're in the area and you like Star Wars, it's August 5th. Look me up on Instagram at May the North Be With You.
Nice. Badfish, what do you got?
Just check out Live and Let Dice this weekend, and shout out to our boy Dean. We're missing you. We need that Dragon Ball Z info and all that stuff. But yeah, we're looking forward to you coming back to Small Talk, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ben Thomas again. Thank you for killing it in the chat. Thanks for everyone who stuck with us all the way to the end. If you haven't done so already, go subscribe. We're really trying hard to get to that 3,000 mark. And then if you would be so kind, give this video a like. We are going to be working on more of the SDCC stuff, hopefully posting in the chats and on auxiliary. So check that out. We'll try to get to those as quickly as possible. And I don't know yet, but it might be necessary to do maybe just a little sideshow. I don't know if we if we can get to that. But I'm sure there's going to be some big stuff dropping, and I know a lot of us are excited about the new HasLab. And
The Ghost.
The Ghost.
It is the Ghost.
The Ghost that will not happen, right?
Oh, it's happening.
And then all the other 1/12 stuff. And if you're interested, just let us know, and we'll contact us or contact me, and we'll make sure we get it on in the next show. All right, guys. That's all we got for Small Talk this week. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a great night. Thanks for spending your night with us.